reported today in The Verge. A visual history of the many Xbox dashboards. Few interfaces have changed more often, or more radically, than the Xbox dashboard. Most platforms with a large user base are incredibly slow to introduce sweeping changes, but that hasn't been the case for Microsoft's game consoles. History shows that its strategy for working in new features and services involved scrapping its previous interface, essentially asking you to relearn how to use the machine and find your content. Microsoft deserves credit for experimenting with its dashboard throughout the years, even if many of those experiments weren't great. With the Xbox Series X set to release later in 2020, now seems like a good time to catch up on the history of the Xbox One and the Xbox 360 dashboard to see where it's been and where it may be going. Some updates were better, or worse, than others, but they all have something in common: they've all been succeeded by a new vision. As this visual history points out, some of their ideas are seen in modern iterations of the dashboard and will be in updates to come and perhaps on future consoles, too. Good, fast and tidy. Bad, it looked like a Winamp skin. The Blades dashboard interface debuted on the Xbox 360 at launch, organizing each of the console's main features into separate sections. This interface had a lot more to squeeze in than the comparatively sparse yet stylish dashboard found on the original Xbox. Even so, it was tidy and easy to understand. Also, quickly switching between sections was responsive, and elements were fast to load, even with the 360's 512 megabytes of RAM. And that whoosh sound effect from switching blades will forever be lodged in my brain. You could argue that this was as close as Microsoft got to perfecting the dashboard, though you could also argue that it wouldn't have scaled well with future ambitions. That said, inspiration from this dashboard can be found on following updates if you look hard enough. Good, avatars. More customizable than Blades. Bad, not as fast or satisfying to use as Blades. 3 years after the launch of the Xbox 360, Microsoft wiped the slate clean with the NXE interface update. And with the advent of Netflix instant streaming and other entertainment-based apps, the Xbox 360 was beginning its descent into interface madness, having to juggle gaming with other forms of entertainment on the dashboard. It started to look like a set-top box. Remnants of the beloved Blades could be found when you pressed the Xbox button on the controller. But on the dashboard, they were replaced in favor of each section being stacked on top of each other. Navigate to the one you want, then all of your content lived within its tile-based interface that you could scroll through from left to right. It looked more polished and mature than Blades, but it wasn't necessarily faster or easier to use. For more on this story, visit the news article link.